What's up? I was going to start this video just like any other one. Hi, I'm Jay from ARIYA, which I am. Subscribe to my channel and all such, but I decided that this video is going to be different. In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 powerful tips of how to recover from a breakup or a betrayal. But first, I'd like to tell you something. I'd like to tell you a story. It's not a story of a breakup per se, because I don't do relationships. I'm a priest, not a priestess. It's a different thing. But it's a story of being betrayed by someone I really trusted and I thought of as my close friend. And so, you may be a monk or a Jedi master, but being stabbed in the back still hurts. And being betrayed by someone who you thought would stand by your side, for better, for worse, it's a really tough thing to deal with, and it did hit me hard. But I had to find a way of keeping going and keeping up with my work, because my mission is everything for me. We are warriors, and obviously stuff happens, but I hate it every time it happens. It's really tough and really nasty, but I couldn't let it stop me and delay me in serving the world and doing things for others. So I couldn't just stay down. And I used the techniques, some of them I'm going to share with you right now, which were extremely powerful, and they allowed me to recover just in a matter of days from something that most people would take probably months or even years to recover. Because obviously it all depends how close you were to someone, or how badly they've treated you. But if you've been in that situation recently, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and you know exactly what kind of pain it can cause. It can be paralyzing. And so, as a warrior, as a mission-driven person, you obviously can't afford for it to keep you down and prevent you from achieving your goals and obviously enjoying your life, because that other person who hurt you, they don't deserve that kind of power over you. They don't deserve the power to be able to take away your joy and your ability to enjoy your life and your ability to live the life on your terms. So let's look into what 3 important steps you can implement to make yourself feel better and more effective and stronger straight away. Step number 1, face the enemy within. I'm talking about the ego, because what most people don't realize, the majority of our pain doesn't actually come from the feeling of loss, but it comes from the ego. I'm going to explain what I mean. So the ego is very fragile and it always seeks validation. And so being in a relationship with someone gives it a signal that it's worthy, because someone is paying attention to us and someone is willing to spend their effort and their time for us. And so obviously it sends a really powerful signal to the ego. This is why some people, unless they're in a relationship, they don't feel quite as worthy. And this is where it comes from. And the ego always seeks control, because again, it gives it a feeling of security and the feeling of power. And so every time something doesn't go according to its plans, it throws a tantrum and it can give you a really hard time. So that part of your mind that is your ego is not your friend, and it's not on your side. And it's also important to understand that you are not your ego. Some people merge with it and they think that their thoughts and their persona and their story is all there is, but it's not true. So you can step away and you can separate yourself from the ego, you can observe it, and you can get power over it. So this is the most important step. Get your control back and get the power over your ego. Start observing what it does. Just watch it running around in circles and throwing those tantrums and getting really angry, but don't get involved. Keep your ground. A really good exercise to practice is called sensory overload. For that, you need to find a busy shopping mall or a busy street, and you should be standing or walking really slowly, but never driving, obviously, or never doing anything dangerous. And so, as you're standing there, observe all the objects at once, everything that moves around you. And so as you do that, you will notice that your mind goes quite naturally. You don't have to force it to be empty of thoughts. It just occurs, because that's the power of sensory overload. Your mind simply doesn't have the processing power to create more thoughts. Now, that silence is really useful because as your mind goes silent, you can now experience firsthand the presence of the real you, the presence of your true awareness. And as you do that, you will then gain the power to separate yourself from the ego more and get an upper hand, so it doesn't punish you every time something happens against its plans and desires. This is really powerful, so do begin with this step. Now, step number 2 is very simple. It requires a bit of discipline, but you are going to benefit hugely from it, both yourself as a person and your self-esteem. And this step is about social media. Many people, after a breakup or a betrayal, tend to try and spy on that other person, on their ex-partner, on social media, and you just don't realize how much it's bringing you down and how much grief it's actually adding to your emotional state. Because, let's be honest, the reason why you're doing it is because you are hoping, deep down, you're really hoping to see them heartbroken, sorry, and really depressed for losing you and realizing their mistake. Now, chances are that if they walked away, it's not going to happen. So all you're going to see is them enjoying their life with their new partner, traveling, doing amazing stuff, and not caring about you at all. Now, seeing that is really going to hurt. So do yourself a favor. While you're recovering, shield yourself from being exposed to such images. You will be amazed how much difference it makes to your emotional well-being. So if you don't trust yourself not to check their profiles, just block them. Block them on every social media that you are connected through, and also unfollow any mutual friends. Just explain to them that it's temporary, because if those people are likely to post images or videos of that person, you don't want to open your phone to a video of your ex-partner enjoying themselves and, kissing their new partner and being completely happy without you. So you don't want to see that while you're recovering. Once you're strong, once that hurt is gone, and once the wound has healed, then it's fine. You can look at it and you just won't care. But right now, it is important that you exert some discipline and that you remove them completely from your life, so they have no way of trying to crawl back, trying to bring you down, and getting any control over you whatsoever. Now, step number 3 is called the advanced remedies. Advanced because they lie outside of the scope of the usual human paradigm, mainly focused on the physical things. But we are not just our physical bodies. As you probably know, as Tesla said, if you want to understand the universe, think of energy, frequency, and vibration. And so this step has to do with healing yourself on the energy plane. Because what most people don't realize, what is happening within our minds and within our hearts has a lot to do with what kind of energies we send and receive. We are actually like small radio transmitters, sending and receiving energies all the time. And so if you are bombarded by negative energies, even if everything else is fine, let's say you're getting enough sleep, you're getting enough water, good exercise, good diet, everything else is good, but if you are bombarded by negative energies, they are going to bring you down. Because it's less obvious, people are often puzzled what it is that is bothering them. not realizing that keeping links with toxic or negative people can actually damage your well-being quite a lot. Because what happens is those links look like hoses or like energy channels, and they send energy backwards and forwards. So not only do you send your energy to that other person, but they also send their toxic negative energy into your system. And so for as long as that is taking place, no matter what else you do, you will feel really down, and also they will retain a degree of influence over you. And because their energy is circulating in their system, it's going to be really hard to get them out of your head and stop thinking about them. And as you know, the mind can actually go into these vicious circles where it keeps thinking about something that is causing you pain over and over, and this is why. So our task is to cut that negative energy link and protect you from being influenced by that other person who you don't want in your life anymore. This technique is similar to meditation, but the good news is you don't need to know how to meditate to perform it successfully. All you need are just a few quiet moments to yourself. So go find a place where you're not going to be disturbed. Close your eyes, sit on the floor or on the chair, whichever way you find preferable, and imagine yourself surrounded with a protective symbol that is a circle within a square. In other words, imagine a shining square on the floor or on the ground around you and the circle within, and you're sitting in the middle. By doing that, you're protecting yourself from any unwanted influences. Now, imagine that person that you want to cut links with in front of you, some distance away. And also that ex-partner is surrounded by the same kind of protective symbol. This is to prevent them to walk towards you and causing you any harm. So they are trapped within that circle within a square. Now imagine an energy cord connecting you both. And by the way, there is no right and wrong. Just trust your intuition and allow it to paint the picture whichever way it fits suitable. So for example, it can be a really thick cord, or it can be even multiple cords coming out from different parts of your body. So if you know what the chakras are or the mind gates, you will also know that there will be a cord connecting you from your heart point with your ex-lover, and if it was someone you were intimate with, you will also have another cord from your sacral point. Now, if you're not visual, you may not be able to paint a picture of them, but instead you will probably have a heavy or hot sensation in those points on your body. So simply imagine some sort of a cord or a rope being there. Now take a sharp tool of your choice. It can be giant scissors or a kitchen knife or a lightsaber if you prefer, or a sword, and cut that cord from both sides. It's also a good idea to imagine it surrounded with flames, so as it cuts, it also singes the cord to prevent it from regrowing. Now, pull the cord that is on your side back into your body, and on the other person's side, just stick it into the ground. Again, just so it doesn't regrow that easily. The cords regrow every time you think about that person, especially if your thinking is quite emotional. So you may need to perform this ritual quite a few times before the result sets. Now mentally thank that other person for their lessons and let them go. Imagine them disappearing from that symbol. Now take the discarded part of the cord, the middle part, and they may be several, as I said. Imagine making a fire and putting them into that fire. And so as they burn, they get transmuted into pure energy that doesn't belong to anyone. And it's not contaminated in any way. Now you can reabsorb that energy into yourself if you wish, or you can collect it and send with good wishes or healing wishes to someone who needs it. If you perform it correctly, you will be amazed by just how much difference it makes in the way you feel and perform every day. You may also feel more energy flowing through your system, so your hands may become warmer. and your vision may become clear as well. There is no limit of how often you can perform this technique, and so use it as often as you need until you feel confident and free. There are many more techniques I would like to share with you, but there is a limit of how much I can share in one short video on YouTube. So I was thinking how I could help you more, and I decided to put them all together into one powerful system and make a course, which I did. So until now, it was just me and my students who could benefit from this knowledge, but now you can learn wherever you are in the world, so you can recover quickly and you can get back on track and make a positive difference in the world. And from now on, you can have a choice to not allow anyone or anything stopping you and bringing you down. So this is why I've made it for you. I'm really excited to present it to you as well, because I know how much difference it can make in your life. If you'd like to learn more, just click the link below this video and it will take you right into the course where you can read all the descriptions and watch a free preview. This was Jay from ARIYA. Stay on your path and stay strong. See you next time.